What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Align in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and that's Soji. She is here. We just unpackaged the Falcon. I just got my shipment of both models, and so Soji is here to check it out. You got anything to say, Poo Poo? No? Nope. She's just gonna desperately try to get in the closet. So, anyway, now that the star of the show has left, we have our package for the USS Enterprise. Thank goodness it is here. I am so relieved. It's been delayed. Holidays and everything like that. I get it. They're overwhelmed. Although this is odd. If you guys saw the Falcon video, oh, that was super cute. Oh, Boo Boo, you're a star of the show and you want more. Yeah. Okay. So, if you saw the Falcon video, you know that we happen to get that one as well. So inside there is the Falcon, and we just unpackaged that. Now it is time to unpackage the Enterprise D. I'm really excited about this. I have a feeling that we have a lot of hull sections to build, and man, I am super excited about getting to the next phase of that build. So let's go ahead and open her up and see what we got. And as always, as you guys I will confess, I do pre-open these. They put the invoices right on top. And I love y'all, but I don't want you to see my address. So, yeah, I go ahead and I crack it open real quick, grab the invoice out of there, but then I don't look at anything that's in here. So just for clarity's sake, I do pre-open these just to get that invoice out. So, I don't know what we're facing yet. Let's see what we got. Paper. Oh my god. Yes, we have some. Sorry. There it is. Look, would you believe a hull panel section and stage 20 is right there. Cool. So we have our sprues with the darkened and clear lights, our hull panel section, and another battery box. Oh, how interesting. Oh, I gotta build another one of these. Oh, you guys, cool. Building this was still the hardest part of this whole model build, I swear to God. So, anyway, that's cool. That's stage number 20. Let's get. Oh, look at this package. My goodness. Let me go ahead and. Oh, look at that. This is stage 19. And we have some escape pods. Whole panel section with a ton of lights. Look at that. Cool. Is that a phaser strip? That might be a phaser strip. Oh, some more lights along with LED lights along with more of the windows. Oh my goodness. And then there is a frame section here and something right here. How interesting. Oh, that's stage 19. That's super cool. Let's see. What else do we have? We have stage 22. Yeah, I thought we were going to be doing a bunch of hull panel work this month. And I'm going to be able to stretch this out, which makes me super happy. Just from a content creator perspective, I just got to say. So this is stage 22. And another hull panel section. Some more escape pods. And ooh, look. It's our first board. Oh, super cool. Super cool. And looks like we have some of our connection points here for the if you hear clattering around in the back, the kitten is definitely doing things. These look like some of the connection points for the saucer section when it meets up with the battle section. Super cool, y'all. Oh, I see a t-shirt. Hello. And for the final one for the month, this is stage 21. Yeah, we're doing hull panel work for this month, and I'm super excited. So I'm going to kind of pull this one away. What we have here, another phaser strip looks like. Sorry, she was up there scratching at this, which is my translite. I just don't have it hooked up yet, but it's my trans. Anyway. So yeah, we're going to be doing a bunch of, we got a phaser strip here. and more of our lights. Oh, super cool. And yeah, a t-shirt, although this isn't going to fit me. That's super cool, though. Oh, look at that. Super cool. I'm going to go ahead and give me a second. We'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, this might fit if I don't wear it in public. But super cool. Look at that. So it has the Galaxy class Starship Development Project, and then kind of like a blueprint of the Enterprise. Super cool. And then finally, got some gifts this month. It's super cool. Like these two, we have the Falcon hat and the Enterprise shirt. Super cool. And then we have our magazine for the month with a real up-front close look at the Enterprise. So, my friends, it has finally arrived. We finally have our content for the month. And with this is looking exciting. This is going to be some detailed work, and we will take my time with it. And from just my perspective, trying to get through these last few weeks without, the Fanhome stuff has been a little bit difficult. And so I'm really excited that I have some stuff to work with. And it's actually soon that I'll be paying for the next shipment. So hopefully we should be back on track and we shouldn't have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and, is it stage, where are we starting? I think we started stage 19, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let's go ahead and start stage 19 today, which is going to be this gigantic piece of stuff to do. Let's go ahead and get going. All right, so let's go ahead and open up this package. I am just so thrilled to be building this model. It's late tonight. I have no business doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. It is the next night from the Falcon. There's no way that I was able to build that, edit it, render it, get it uploaded, and out on time. So it is the next day. It has been another long day at work, and it is time to do a little bit of work on this. The thing that's really cool, and this is the first time that this is going to happen, but I'm going to have to take one stage and split it into 2 episodes. This is a heavy one. This is a lot. This package does this. It's pretty large. Let's go ahead and just take a look real fast while it's still in its packaging, because I'm going to have to kind of fold it as we're unpackaging it. This is a frame section that we're going to be affixing in the next episode. And this frame section goes underneath like the Cobra head on the battle section. And it's part of like the superstructure that really holds everything in place. And so yeah, that's what that is. These are stickers that are going to be used for binding our wires together, which is very interesting. My initial thought was I was going to use zip ties, but in thinking about it, it makes sense that it would be stickers because the zip ties are bulky, and they don't exactly like work with bending around spaces, not necessarily all the time. And so that's what those stickers are here for. We have 2 different sizes of windows, because the whole panel that we're going to be building here is just deck 8. This is deck 8, deck 7, deck 6, deck 5. We have the bigger windows here on deck 7 in the middle, and then the smaller windows are on the outside with the life pods up top, and that's where those are here. So we have 2 different window sizes. When we get to the episode next week, we're going to be installing the phaser strip, and we're going to be putting a lot of the other hull panels onto the saucer section superstructure that we built. And as I thought, we are definitely going to be doing just a ton of work over the next little while on assembling our hull panels, getting all of our lights hooked up, starting to get some of our PCMs, all of our control boards all hooked up. We're starting to really get into the meat of the model, and I'm pretty pleased that we actually have like stuff to do. So let's go ahead and get this open, shall we? This is going to be a very long cut. So let's hope we don't cut through any wires, which I'm going to desperately try to avoid. Yeah, they just took forever to get these this month. It sucked. I mean, like I said, I understand the holidays, but it just sucked waiting. So I'm going to start here at the bottom. And here's the stickers, and it's kind of It has a little bit of a rubbery texture to it. It's kind of interesting. This also is going to be used to hold, as I'll show you here in a moment. There's a part here where we have to put 4 black windows in place, the blacked out windows, and then we're going to be using one of these stickers to kind of hold it in place. Like, there's no light that can possibly go through here. One thing I'm realizing, it's been a while since we've built this model actually, and so I need to go pick up some Gorilla Tape. I'm going to only, that was part of the impetus for only doing one episode of this, because I want to be able to build this one section and then be able to tape that in before we move on to the next one. But I want to work on making sure that I have all of my panels all blocked off so that we don't have any light bleed through some of it. On this panel, it's likely that we'll have a little bit of light bleed here and there. So we'll see. The beauty is without glue, we can just take these pieces apart and then reassemble. But for the sake of today, we're just going to go ahead and work on that and then get our Gorilla Glue or whatever tape I can find. I might look online as well. So yeah, we have our screw sets here. I'm assuming that these are going to be for these ones, so I'm just going to go ahead and set this off to the side. This is a pretty weighty piece. We have our window sets, and we're going to need 22 of these. Each one of the sprues has 10, and then I need 2. So this is how many extra windows I get. At the end of this model, I wonder just how many extra parts we're going to have, and goodness me, I wonder what the hell I'm going to do with them. So we have our windows. We have our dark windows of the small variety as well. And in this stage, we have a lot of LED light work that we're going to be doing here, which is great. So yeah, once again, we're also in this stage, we're going to be assembling 22 of these dark windows into the whole panel today. 10 and 10, and then only 2. So we got a bunch of extra windows as well, which is kind of cool. But once again, just how much are we going to have? We have, I think it's 4 wire sets in here. Yep, we do. There are 4 wire sets. And the heavy LED work is about to begin, I feel. There was an ad, and still is an ad out on eBay right now, where you can pick up for like $875 the first 13 stages of this build. And or the first 13 packages of the build, and I think it takes you up to like stage... Goodness me, I'm not quite sure actually. I'm not quite sure. I didn't look at it too hard because I'm like $800. Are you kidding me? But yeah, so I was kind of like, but they had all the packages laid out, and I kind of like was peeping ahead, and a lot of LED work coming up, which is pretty cool. So I'm not sure how much of this we're going to be using today. I have read through the instructions, but the instructions for this month are really, really heavy. Yeah, just kind of crazy. And then we have our phaser strip, which is pretty cool. This unfortunately is not bouncy like the phaser strips on the back of the battle section there, but that's totally fine. Makes total sense. There's so much going on in the saucer that probably wouldn't be able to make that happen, but there's part of the phaser strip, and I'm actually like super excited about that. We have our larger light and dark windows. I think we're going to be using 4 each, and so we're going to wind up with one large dark window at the end of it. We have our whole panel section here. It looks like it's already somewhat snapped together. Kind of wish they didn't do that, but it's actually not on there too hard. So our LEDs, from looking ahead into the build, after we assemble our windows inside of here today, we're going to be taking our LED, the first one that we put in, is going to get put in here, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to approach that with tape, or I'm going to attempt to see if I can actually put these together the way it's supposed to be, because eventually, like, what we do is we do the middle ones, and then we put some screws in, and then we do the outer ones, and then we put a couple more screws in, and then these parts up here connect up to a different piece, and then we drop LEDs in here. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to approach all of this. I don't know if I'm going to continue to use tape. I'm going to try to trust the model. My skills with this have gotten better over time, and so, you know, we'll see. But this is our hull panel section, along with the reflector in the back. The reflector itself, which is pretty cool. The back is dull. It gives you your whole plate number. It gives you a specific, like, you know exactly what each piece goes to each one. They map it out for you. It's really nice. But then on the other side of that, it's kind of hard to kind of convey through the camera here, but this is a transparent surface, so it's clear on the top, and then it's super reflective on the backside of this. So this is a very thin layer with a very clear layer on top, and so that's how they do the reflector. And then our hull panel section here, this is actually drop dead center. This is going to be right at the front. 10 forward is going to be right up here in this general area. So this is deck 8 on the round of the front of, like, on the way the saucer kind of comes around the front. You know, you're going to have deck 9 and then deck 10, which is going to be, I think there are 3 decks around the outside of the saucer ring. So yeah, that's right at the very front of the saucer, and it's going to be like front and center. And so I am a little nervous about not having the tape. I was like getting ready to sit down and record, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't actually go pick that up, and it's too late, and I want to record, and it's too late, and I shouldn't be doing this, but I want to record. And so decisions have been made, and I'm recording, so here we are. We have some more screws here. I'm assuming that these screws are going to be for this portion of the stage. Like I said, we're going to have to split the stage into 2 parts. Then we have our escape pods, lifeboats, whatever you want to call them. When we install them, we're going to be installing them with the red indicator up, heading towards the bridge, or up on the saucer. At least that's how I'm going to do it across. I believe that's what they mean. It says the red line on each pod cover should be furthest from this tapered end of the deck panel. So that tells me that it's like, it should be facing away, like not towards the bottom, but towards the top. Choose better words. We have 8 of those, and then we have 5 on each sprue, so we're going to wind up with a couple of extra life pods. I do have a few extra of these as well, so it's going to be interesting. Like, I think part of the whole cool thing with the collection is that you get all of these, like, parts to look at afterwards. I don't know. Like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, check out this model, and then, hey, check out all these extra parts that I have for the model. I don't know why. So here, I'm going to put our other set of screws over here, and let's go ahead and get the famous card out, and maybe we might start taking our little card here. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but that's where I'm going to put it for this one and going forward. So let us begin. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick little cut here. I am going to separate out all of my windows. I'm going to separate out all of my life pods. I'm going to go ahead and grab my file, and I'm going to do some cleanup work before we begin. And yeah, once again, like, we're going to take all the skills that we've learned from everything. Once again, the whole point of this channel so far, at least from what I've done from my perspective, it's been a learning experience. And taking the skills that we've learned and applying them to the next thing. And for me, learning is like one of the coolest things you can do as a person. And, you know, it's the thing that, you know, like, as we get older, you know, the ability to learn changes, and, you know, practical skills become actual skills that become like skills that you translate into other things. And for me, like, this whole model thing, you know, I really like paying attention to detail and all that stuff. And so, like, taking the time to, like, separate out all of the pieces and, you know, sand everything down is satisfying to me, so that when we put it in, everything fits in perfectly. But it's also probably kind of boring to watch me go snip, 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 sand, 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 sand. So I'm going to go ahead and cut and enjoy myself for a little bit, and we'll be right back. Okay, after what was a grueling probably 25 minutes of separating little window pieces off of their sprues and getting them cleaned up, I'm finally ready to roll. So let's go ahead and start by assembling our escape pods. And I'll just go ahead and show you what they look like here. Just tiny little things. Yeah, so we're going to take the red dot, and it's going to be facing towards the top. So we're going to start here. And I'm using my little card here to actually prop this up, which is actually going to be really helpful for this whole process, I think. I hope. Maybe. So, get these slotted in. Didn't worry about cleaning these ones up too much. I'm hoping I'm not going to regret that decision. Because they kind of just sit behind. I'm going to, for the sake of quickness here, and for the sake of getting them pushed down, which seems to be the case that they need, go ahead and just lift it up real quick. It's not as intricate work as putting the windows in, so I can go ahead and pick this up real fast. And, you know, it wouldn't be the Enterprise build unless I'm knocking windows out, right? Alright. Be a little more careful and make sure I'm seating these in here properly. Wasn't too happy with my placement of the escape pods on the bridge module section, but then again, it was kind of a weird little setup that they did, so try to be a little bit more deliberate and thoughtful with my escape pod placement. Alright, so those are in now. A little off screen there, but there we go. Now those are in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and follow our pattern, like we said. And we're going to just follow the exact diagram that Fanhome gave us, which is what matched the shooting model of the Enterprise. So we're going to go 4 black windows or darkened windows here across the top. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea because it's bouncy bouncy. And I might turn this so it's a little bit easier for me. Get that out of the way. So you guys can see it and I can work with it. There we go. That seems to be working all right. Gotten quicker at doing these. And I can say after a couple months of building models now, my tweezers and my nippers are both starting to look towards needing replacing. So, yeah. Alright. So those are nice and put in place. Yeah, I kind of got like some bent ends at the end of my tweezers there. So, kind of annoying, but tis what it is. I'm just going to go ahead and install all of the darkened windows here on the... this would be what? That's 8, 7 on deck 6 here. So, got a darkened window here. It wouldn't be one of our episodes unless one of those went flying. Because, of course, thankfully we have plenty of extras. It didn't go far, but I also, you know, don't want to go searching for it right now. Got better things to do. Especially when I can just clip a new one off, and I'm going to likely have way too many of these things by the end, so yeah, I think we're just fine. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do our light windows. That's going to be every other one that we didn't put a dark window on this level, which is kind of cool. A lot of windows here. And it's 50-50. It's 22 light windows, 22 dark windows, and then 5 and 5 for the bigger windows as well. So it's yeah, it's an even mix of windows. Just some window strips are a little bit more light than others, and that's pretty cool. I like that. You could, of course, choose your own window if you're building along and following along. You could, of course, choose your own window scheme, but I choose to follow what screen replica of the model, just because it's easier to follow the instruction and not like try to like overthink it. Someone already overthought it, almost 40 years ago. So all shooting models of the Enterprise actually had the same exact window scheme, which is kind of a cool little fact. Didn't know that. And I'm not going to put it up on screen for this episode. It's kind of I need to figure out a better way of doing that. I'm getting better at editor and other ways of like creating graphics and stuff like that. But the little did you know for this episode, the original shooting model of the Enterprise, the 6-footer, had a completely smooth surface. There was no surface detail other than just really good artist brush work on the surface. That model was the only one that could actually separate the saucer. But they weren't able to do like too close of like shooting detail on the model, and so they wind up creating a 4-footer, but the deal is the 4-footer couldn't have the saucer separation happen. So that's why we never saw it after the Best of Both Worlds. That was the last time that we saw it until Star Trek Generations. And they brought the original 6-footer back to basically, paint it up real nice for Star Trek Generations. And it wound up being the saucer section that they wound up crashing on Viridian 3. Kind of a cool little thing. So there were 3 models. There was the 6-footer, the original that could separate, that was super smooth. They had the 4-footer, and then they created another model as well, and I believe it was also a 4-footer, and they created that one as a way of like just higher detail as they got better cameras and stuff like that. So this model is an amalgamation of all 3 models for the detail work. Each one of them was a little bit different, but what stayed the same was the window pattern, and that was kind of a cool little fact. So there you go. There's the did you know for this episode. So let's go ahead and get our windows here put into place. Thankfully I'm not having too much of that these days where they're just popping out. A little bit more of a professional builder on this one. Too dark. I'm just going to go ahead and follow the pattern here. It's going to be a little bit easier to do than the way I was doing it there before. Going one color to the other. Let's go ahead and follow the pattern. And then these are the bigger windows here in the middle. We got 2 darks here. Yep. Man, I'm trying to like create more work for myself. Just throwing these dark windows all over the place. Alright, and then the rest of this the rest of this deck, which is going to be deck 7, is going to be all lit windows. And I imagine that this is going to be the bulk of what we do for the next little while, which is kind of cool. I'm just excited to be like assembling the saucer section. Like what the end of this episode is going to conclude with us putting this piece onto our superstructure, and I am super jazzed about that. So we are going to grab dark window here for the first one. Then it's clear and clear. Oh. Yeah, I like the way that they're doing the bigger windows with the smaller windows. Never like caught that at the front of the ship. But another little tippy. The reason why the 4-footer was kind of created is they wanted to create 10 forward and show where it was on the ship, and it wasn't on the original shooting model. So if you look, season 1, there is no 10 forward there. So it's kind of cool. I think season 1 and 2 and 3, there's no 10 forward You see it in the later seasons. But, yeah, no 10 forward. Kind of cool little thing. Put that there. Eh? And that there. Eh? Come on, get in place. There we go. And this whole bottom strip is dark, and I think they're just kind of like surrounding these windows to like emphasize. It would make sense because they got it surrounded to emphasize the larger windows, which makes total sense to me from an aesthetic and artistic point of view. This one is my first one that I've been struggling with. For no particular reason at all. Yeah, this one's just fine. But it is just not wanting to cooperate. You get to your home. I'm going to try to put this in a different slot here. For whatever reason, the struggle bus, oh my goodness, has commenced on this particular window. You are going to go right there. Goodness me. That was frustrating. Just all of a sudden, the struggle bus just showed up and was like, I'm here to take you to work. All right. These pieces are... I'm doing a dangerous thing by lifting this up. Got away with that one. Yeah. I don't know. This is a little... I could see where some light bleed would actually come into play here. I was a little skeptical at first when someone's like, watch the light bleed, you know, but I can see where that would come into play here. We're going to be taking special precautions after this particular whole panel section. We gotta. So, I am short one darkened window. So let me go ahead and grab my extras here. Grab my cleanup tools. There we go. And just clean this up. Odd sense of deja vu right now. There's a lot of this. Like 40... There's 50 individual windows we cleaned up. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Okay, cool. So now, clear ones are going to go the rest of the way. Then we're going to move on to the bigger windows, and then we're going to install our reflector and some LEDs. So, there's that. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take a piece of our tape and separate that off with our tweezers because I got big stupid fingers. I'm going to go across just like this. And the reason we're doing this here is the LED is right going to be in this area and the reflector kind of surrounds this. So basically there's no reason for, there's no light that's actually going to be able to travel through here. So they very smartly did that, and then in the process, oh God, we'll be right back. Okay, so let's go ahead, I went ahead and cleaned up that fiasco. Let's go ahead and install our larger windows here. And kind of turning it to the side works good for me. So it's going to go 2 darkened and then 2 light. it's time for new tweezers. Just don't want to hold on to anything properly. Oof. Okay, we're going to go one dark. And then one light. And then two dark, and then two light. Perfect. What's interesting is they gave us one extra dark one, but not one extra light one. It's very interesting. Don't know why they would do that. But hey, don't need extras. We're good. We got plenty of extras. Probably have enough to actually do this without... I already probably have enough to do all this without that. Alright, so now all of our windows are in place. Very nice. So now let's go ahead and move on. We're going to grab one of our wires. I'm going to go ahead and move the rest of them out of the way. And we're going to grab one of our wire sets. And what we are going to do is we're going to bend them back. I'm going to choose which way it's going to be yellow to the left. So we're going to bend it right at the LED, 90 degrees. Hopefully, I don't ham-hand these, which I am absolutely known to do. And I'm going to make sure that they're both going in the correct direction. That is correct. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to carefully set this piece on top. Yep, upside down. Yep, I was like, wait. And then before it fully sits, the yellow is going to go on the left. I worry about these LEDs. Try not to jostle this around too much. I had been using tape prior. And I'm going to use tape now. Be right back. Okay, after much futzing around, I finally got that piece in there. That is just, ugh, do not like that. 0 stars. Do not recommend. Okay, so now we are going to take 2 of our BP screws here. And we're going to affix them right here. Then we're going to install another LED set. There we go. Very nice. Let's grab another LED, and we're going to bend in the same fashion, both at the end, but we're going to bend them both going in the same direction. So just up like that, and up like that. Get ourselves a couple of 90s. And we're going to do that one more time here. Not 2 more times, just 1 more time. Okay. So now we're going to take the yellow wire, and we're just going to pull it apart just enough. And we're going to go ahead and slide it in right here. And hopefully, can do this. Okay, that went in nice. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Separate these just a little bit. And then the yellow is going to go in here. There we go. Now we're going to grab our other 2 BP screws. 4 BP screws, okay. We're going to put right at each point, though, where the LED is going in so that they don't move. That's in. And there's something to be said for a screwdriver that actually holds the screws properly. If you guys saw the Falcon episode, you know what I'm talking about. Watch the Falcon episode. Just came out last Saturday. Alright. So, last screw into place here. Very nice. Okay. Pretty pleased with that. Let's go ahead and see how everything turned out. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Very nice. Yeah, all that turned out really nice. Very clean. Yeah, definitely some light bleed. Off camera, and going forward, we'll have proper tape to block all this off. But off camera, I will take this back apart later. If I'm feeling motivated. This is a big piece, so it's likely I will. And I'm going to take some light blocking tape and block that behind. So now, let us, I think we're going to be grabbing the saucer section here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next page. And sure enough, my friends, the old saucer's coming back. And that's pretty exciting. So let's go ahead and grab it. And here we are. And where this is going to be right here. So in order to affix it, what we're going to have to do is we're going to be routing our wires. Specifically, these wires right here are going to get routed right through here. And then we're going to pull the cable here through, I believe it is going to be through the left side on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to first feed our cable through here. And it goes along the inside there. I'm going to do the same thing over here, and being careful to not like pull, because I don't want to pull out the LED that we just so carefully put in place. There we go. So those, I see, and then it's going to come back up through. So this wire comes to this side of that. I'm about to flip over this piece here in a second. So make sure I get everything, all my wires fed through properly up here on the top before we do so. It's super cool. Alright, let's go ahead and flip it over. I'm being as careful as I possibly can be right now. This is a learning point that we're going to be doing. So this piece, they said it's important, in the instructions they said that it's important to follow where the wires come through here. So this needs to switch over to the other side. Go ahead and push this forward a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. That's going to come there. This comes up through here. Through here. And then, where do our screw points come? It is going to be these two go into here. So, that's interesting. Ah, I see. Pulled this up a little too far. So, this is going to come back through here. Going to come just to the back of there. Oof. There we are. So come to the back of there. And how? It's interesting they want the wires to bend over this way. So I'm going to bend that back over that way. Okay, so after some careful manipulation there, I apologize for the cut, but after some careful manipulation, I had to like figure out how to get these pieces to line up properly. And what I'm doing right now is pushing down on the superstructure onto this piece. And I'm going to go ahead and drop my screw, one screw. Oh, come on. This has been a challenge trying to figure this out. But once again, we're learning how this process here works. Okay, so I'm feeling better about that now. Okay, this is a whole new thing that we're doing, and that's attaching a whole plate to a saucer section. And learning curves for sure have taken place. So there we are. Oh, that's super cool. All right. So now the next part is we are going to take this LED and we're going to connect it right here from the other side. So let's go ahead. I'm super excited about this part right here. I really am. Oh, would you look at that, my friends? We have a whole plate on our Enterprise. That is super exciting. I am super pleased about that right now. So now, this one is interesting. It's coming in at an angle. So I am going to come around from the other side. Apologize if I'm lifting up on something and you guys can't see for a second, but I need to try to get this in here if all possible. And tweezers. There we go. Tuck that in there. See if I can. Oof. This is a challenging little part. I'm not breaking the LED. Ugh. We'll be right back. Okay, after some careful manipulation, I finally got that in there. The 90-degree bend was not necessary. It was a bend a little later on. So what we're going to do here is I'll demonstrate for this one. I'm going to take out the 90-degree at the end of the LED here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bend just slightly at about 3/4 of the way. And then I'm going to come up from the side here. And then combination of reaching fat fingers for sure. Oh my god. This is challenging, which makes me happy. So I'm going to pull it up through. I'm going to try this. Pull it up through. Get it down into place. I have a piece of tape ready for it. There we go. Tape it. And oh no, can't have the tape like out above there, Jordan. There we are. So I make sure it's secured in place. There we go. And then grab it and kind of tuck it down. There we are. Okay. Well, my friends, we have one little piece left here, and then we are done for today. This was a bit of a challenging build, and this whole package is full of them, so I'm excited for that, actually. I really am. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of our stickers, and we're going to bundle up our wires. It says to bundle them up right about here. So bundle, and then we're going to wrap it. And there we have some wires all ready to roll. All of our LEDs are connected. And we have our very first whole frame section taken care of. This was challenging, so what I'm not going to do, my friends, is anything with this. This is on here, and it's always going to be on here. I'm going to accept whatever light bleed or any other consequences of building this without the proper equipment is going to be. So, there we are. We're attached up. First hull plate attached to the model. Oh, yes. The model's here. We have stuff to build for a while. I'm super excited. Alright, if you guys have any questions, comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. I want to say thank you. I know there's a million things y'all could have been doing today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes watching me build a model, which is pretty cool. And with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world wherever you all happen to be. And until we see each other again, my friends, just remember to always live long and prosper.